So you guys know that I love a good mystery. But there was a mystery that occurred to me the other day that I had never thought of before. And it was why Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man. I have never thought about it. And I've been reading The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man related titles for a very long time. And I have never pondered why JJ hates Spider-Man. It's easy to understand why Spider-Man might dislike JJ in the Bugle, but I've never thought about it from JJ's perspective. I've been reading The Amazing Spider-Man from the very beginning, from issue number 1 all the way up through, and I reached number 10, and I had an answer to a question that I never bothered to ask myself. If you want to know what I'm talking about, stay tuned to this video. Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my videos. In this video, we are going to solve the mystery of why Jonah Jameson hates Spider-Man. As I mentioned in the intro, I've been reading The Amazing Spider-Man of series number 1 from the very beginning. And I started doing that when I picked up number 1 and several of the other early issues of ASM. And I've been kind of reading it all the way through. I got to issue number 10 and there in front of me was the answer to a question that I've never even thought of before. And it was why JJ hates Spider-Man. And it really comes down to jealousy and envy. If you haven't read this issue, you should read this issue. If you are a Spider-Man fan, you should read this issue. Read it on Marvel Unlimited, get a trade paperback or whatever it is, but read it because on 3 panels, JJ articulates why he hates Spider-Man. And it really comes down to the fact that JJ has been focused on money, power, influence as a way of propping himself up. That is how he defines his value and his self-worth. And then he looks at Spider-Man, who puts himself in harm's way without ever asking for anything in return. And JJ comes to the realization that everything that he has done in his life means nothing in comparison to the hero that Spider-Man is. The selfless nature of what he does makes everything that JJ is pale in comparison. And JJ, in his word clouds and his thoughts, uses words like envy and jealousy, and he basically says he cannot find worth in himself until Spider-Man is done away with. And it was very interesting to read in those 3 panels why he has such a dislike for him. And it never dawned on me to wonder why. I mean, he always talks about him as a menace and, you know, he's a vigilante and he's out there doing things that are potentially dangerous, etc., harmful to humanity. And all it comes down to is jealousy and envy. It's very interesting. If you guys have not read this, I encourage you to go back and take a look at it, but I found it fascinating to read. And as I move into, you know, issues 12 and 13, I am looking forward to what other mysteries may be revealed. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this short video. I hope that you enjoyed it and maybe you learned a little something. But thank you very much for taking the time to watch.